Awesome. So you guys are inside of the house. We have one character downstairs, which is Finley, and then I believe everyone else is upstairs. So Kurtz had just administered some holy water,
Yep.
and then you guys laid the fleece down, and we will continue from that point. So all of the lights we said were glowing a little bit brighter in the house from the bardic song that was played, and then everyone has the bardic inspiration for the time being.
That's correct. It was a jovial little tune that unfortunately nobody else heard because I was downstairs by myself. But nonetheless,
Do you want
the thought was there. The thought was there.
All right. So the fleece was laid upon him, and we will go ahead and start. What do you guys want to do?
Dilly.
Dirk is just going to back into a corner, sort of pack his pipe and light it, and just expect this to fail miserably.
Who?
Kurt's going to ask him.
Lila should put the fleece down on Drandolin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Rin recommended that you poured all of your divine energy in.
Yeah, so Strongbraid and Devis began
I walk
there.
up next to the bed, right beside Lilash, and before I kneel down beside her, I will just kind of lay my hand on her shoulder and say, "May I?"
Yeah, sure. Whatever you think will help.
So I'll kind of scooch in there, and I'll lay my hand, 2 fingers over Drandolin's heart above the fleece, and I'll lean in close and I'll say, "I don't know if you can hear me, Drandolin, but Lilash has been through hell and back for this moment. I know that she might not be the same without you." And I'll push 5 points of my lay on hands through the fleece into Drandolin.
Okay. So how the fleece is, it's a golden fleece, and then there is a ram head on it as well. So the ram head is sitting at about the chest height, and the rest of the fleece is on him. Since you've laid it upon him, you haven't noticed any kind of changes or anything, and his health is very sickly, and his eyes are yellowed out and nasty, and none of those symptoms have seemed to change. And the weight of the ram head on his chest, you can kind of see him kind of moving around and like wanting to move it off because it seems to be a little bit uncomfortable for him, and he's coughing and just kind of, he's coherent but not all there, and he seems very confused, and he doesn't like what's going on right now.
Devish is still here too, right?
Yes, he is.
We'll look back at Devish and Devish, how do the Shroud wear this adornment when they perform their rites with it?
I was never there for any of the ceremonies that he used, but for as far as I know, for a long time the fleece is just used ceremonially, and it was just like a iconic thing. It was never actually used for any kind of healing or anything like that. This is just something, a rumor that you guys had spoke of, and I don't know what else we could do.
Well, instead of laying it on him, I'll pick the fleece up and actually wrap it around his neck and behind his head, around his shoulders.
Okay.
And as I kind of entwine the 2 ends of it over the top of each other again, I'll put both my hands down on his chest very lightly, and I'll say, "Lilash needs you to come back." And I'll put my other 5 points of lay on hands into it through the fleece.
Okay. And at this time, he will, now that it's in a much more comfortable position, he'll kind of lay back into the pillows that Kurtz had propped up behind his head, and he's not asleep, but you can tell he's trying to go to sleep. Still, none of the symptoms seem to be residing.
Rin's going to probably move a little closer to our companion and just kind of do the little hand on the shoulder, whisper a little bit softly, just saying, I think I would like to try what we discussed before. Give me a moment. And I just will step off to the side, pull out the large manifesto that probably weighs like 50 pounds.
Drop it on his chest.
No,
I'm just kidding.
I'll find a nearby table.
There we go. Quest completed.
Put it down, and then
He's dead.
turn all
Yellow
the way to
eyeballs just pop out.
I'll turn it all the way to the very back pages, and from the last maybe, I'd say maybe 20 or 50 odd so pages, he'll start flipping, and then he'll look for a page and start to mutter and attempt to try. He's never done this before. Detect magic as a ritual.
Okay.
He's going to start that process.
Okay. Is that activatable on the character sheet, or is it just?
There you go.
Okay. So you're attempting to see a faint aura around a creature or object.
Yes, anything within my vicinity. So anything that is magical nearby will ping up.
Okay. So as you are trying to detect any kind of magical influence, you do pick up a hint of magical properties from the fleece itself, but as far as anything being activated or channeled or anything like that, you don't detect anything magical in that sense. You almost get the feeling of there may be something missing.
And under as he was doing his ritual, just kind of like under my breath, I would have been probably just almost talking to myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Carvelia, Sabadine, Alashar. Your presence has not been felt for a time now, but I haven't lost hope. If you can still hear, then hear now. Help this man.
And it's been a long time since the disappearance of the goddesses and Alundra, the high priestess, and since their disappearance, there are many people throughout the land who still have faith and hope in their return, but you know, all answers have gone or all prayers have gone unanswered, and this is another one of those moments where it's a very difficult thing of, in a desperate time, of crying out to a deity that you love, and you don't see any kind of intervention. But Devis turns towards you, and he's also trying to invoke as well, because he's a cleric, and he turns and says, you know, this is a new thing for us. Perhaps it is something that takes time. Maybe we can just let it sit and do its magic, and we can just hope for the best later on. It might not be an instant miracle that we hope for.
Kurtz will just let out a breath. How long are we supposed to wait?
I have no clue. I think we can just, you know, put faith in the sisters, and then, you know, hopefully they'll come through.
He does look a little more restful.
Rin's looking at the fleece intently. Can he determine the school of magic that he sees emanating from it?
Undetermined.
Undetermined. All right.
Yeah.
But there is something magical there.
Yes.
And Lilash's husband does look a little more restful now.
He is starting to drift off to sleep. Yes.
Well, he also doesn't have a big ram skull.
Yeah, that might help. Yeah. He's quite sickly.
Rin's gonna just look up at the rest of them and just kind of shake his head a little bit. There's a missing piece. There's something missing. Incantation, or perhaps some other effect, something that is maybe triggering, or perhaps something that is missing for it to fully function, but
perhaps it's the fact that he's not one of the Shroud.
No.
Artifact of the Shroud.
No, this artifact existed prior to the Shroud. The Shroud ascertained some rights to it, but it wasn't necessarily theirs.
Kurtz, you have business in town anyways. We can take care of that, can't we? You can give him a day.
Kurtz will just kind of tap out the ashes from the pipe. Yeah.
I'll stand up and I'll just kind of squeeze Lilash's shoulder, and then as I walk past, I'll look up at Kurtz and don't say I told you so yet, and then I'll walk downstairs to see what Finley's doing.
Okay.
Just
Would you like to know? Would you like to know what Finley's doing?
Yes.
Yeah, let's pan downstairs and
I
what is
don't know.
Finley
How's
up
the
to?
quest? How's the quest for your blue balls going down here?
Well, all right. So, while this is all going on and you guys are doing rituals and tech magics and things, Finley's downstairs. He has his ink pen out and some parchment, and he's just kind of writing. And I guess we can't let your husband Durgan die. I said, Lilash. So he's writing the rest of his sonnets here, his song on the parchment, and kind of waves it a little bit to let the ink dry.
Okay.
Finley, I heard a little music down here.
Yeah.
Just passing the time.
He's rolling up this parchment and pulls out one of the blue axe beak feathers from before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stuff it like kind of in the scroll wrapping, and just tuck it away somewhere, like in one of their little cupboards or somewhere in the kitchen or something like that.
Aren't you even a little curious as to what's going on upstairs?
So I'll come back and be like, is he alive, or I'm guessing all is well, right? Yippity doo.
He's still alive. I guess all is well would depend on who you asked, but for the time being, it seems like there's no change. We might be in Brandylac for a day or two.
So you're saying he's not dead technically, but still not technically alive either. Like kind of one of those half and halves. He's like right there still.
Mostly dead.
I'll slump down like into a chair next to Finley, and like as I do, just like all the weight of the world kind of sinks in on top of me. And I'll just say, "Keep your pants on, Finley."
Why now? You know, we've only known each other so long here, Strongbrew, but you know, I don't think my pants have come off yet in the time that. Well, they may actually. You know what? I take that back. I think they might have came off once back there in the tavern there before. But listen. I you know, the man's dying upstairs. I'm still a man of morals. I can at least wait till he's dead. But if he's still alive, that's fingers crossed, I guess. But you know, still a man. Still has a family here. I can't be too selfish and greedy, I guess. But
Good thing
It's
he's
hard
falling
to-
asleep upstairs. Yeah.
It's hard to tell what the outcome is going to be, but at least give Lilash a little time if her husband's by
speaking of which,
before you start getting too cheeky.
more importantly, yeah, right. How is Lilash anyway? Is she all right, or how's she taking it so far? Is the fleece even working, or what's the situation?
Who's all still upstairs?
Rin is.
I guess
Okay.
I'll be coming downstairs
Okay.
after like watching for a minute or two and seeing that nothing has happened, just like I expected.
Before Kurtz leaves, Lilash would want to just kind of like grab him for a second and be like, Kurtz, I know that we don't really seem to. I know that we don't really see eye to eye, but what you did for my husband, I just want to say thank you. It's very kind, and it meant a lot.
Kurtz will just sigh. Lilash, I don't wish ill on you or your husband. I just think that you're a little too hopeful in these times.
Hope is really all I have, and I'm not ready to give up on him yet.
Hope it's not all you have. You have people who care about you. Obviously, this town cares about you. You were met at the gate, recognized, appreciated. People inquired about your family and how they were doing. If it's your husband's time to die, maybe accepting that rather than prolonging the suffering is what you need to do.
I'm not giving up on him. I can't.
Kurtz just nods. And I'm sorry, because it'll hurt so much more when he's finally gone. And he'll just kind of put a hand on her shoulder, give it a light squeeze, and then just walk down the stairs.
Okay.
Rin is looking around the room if anything else is magical that he will kind of focus on. If there's any magic emanating from her husband, perhaps any kind of magical aura that seems to afflict him.
No, you do not detect anything like that.
Okay. Then what Rin was going to do is he's going to just quickly look over the fleece real quick. He's just going to see if there's anything on it that looks like runes or writing for instructions, maybe near the skull. Does he see anything to help solve the puzzle with it?
Not physically on the fleece.
Okay. Then he's going to just take another 10 minutes, because after that he's just going to be like, all right, I'll try one more spell. And he's just going to flip to another page and cast again, but this time he's going to cast Identify.
Okay.
He's going to try and see if he can identify the item.
Old move, Cotton. Let's see how that plays out for you.
If it is a magic item or something, other magic imbued.
Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. He can't do that yet. Never mind. Reverse that. That was the reason why. I was like, why didn't I cast this sooner? Oh, duh. He doesn't have a pearl. I have nothing to focus the spell with.
No, when you guys level up the components you need, you also acquire.
Oh, okay.
For the session 0 stuff, yeah.
Look at the pearl somehow.
Magically.
I had an oyster in the town, and there was a pearl in it.
Your owl just showed up with it in its palm.
Yeah.
You just
Yesterday morning, yeah.
You found it in the
that
stomach
pearl
of
in
one
my
of those
pocket.
wolves,
Yeah. Yes, yeah. Any components you need will be available.
Say something else. Say like Hot Pocket or see what else your fucking owl has. Hot Pocket.
Adamantine armor.
Not a sponsor.
Power word kill.
Not yet.
All right. So then he would cast it then. First time ever trying it.
All right. So you're choosing one object, which you must touch, which is the fleece. If it is a magic item or something magic imbued, you learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement to use, how. Okay, you learn whether it's all right. So I'll kind of give a little bit of it to you, since I think you would get something from Identify. You remember the scroll that was in the drawer? When you guys remember that scroll?
The one we didn't take?
No, you
No,
took it.
We took it.
Oh, did we? Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
you just took it.
Oh yeah. Took that thing.
Oh yeah, we took it. So, you have a feeling that something you don't know because you can't read the scroll, but something with it is probably the answer here.
Okay. Who has the scroll currently? I can't remember who put it in their pockets. Did Davis put it in his pocket? I can't remember.
If you guys don't remember, it probably was Devis. Devis was played by another dev that was playing the NPC for us, and he's gone. But we'll just say that Devis has it.
Okay, then Rin will just kind of go, Davis. Just kind of give that look. And I have the scroll.
What scroll? Oh, the scroll from earlier. Yeah, and he'll pull it out and he'll hand it to you. You guys have the picture of the sealed scroll shared to you, so you can see what it looks like. And then on the seal, I just shared the sealed text, what the text on the scroll actually says.
Does Rin recognize this as a language, or is this like a runes, like arcane runes?
You can do a history check if you want.
Okie dokes.
The only one who can.
Well,
So, yeah, you maybe have seen a symbol here or there, but as far as understanding it, it is going to be part of the campaign things for you guys to try to figure out. So,
okay.
so this is definitely going to help you guys throughout the campaign to try to. This is a cipher. You don't know where it comes from, who does it, or whatever. So keep track of all this stuff. But you can see these 6 symbols on it. Can you guys see the seal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm assuming, are you trying to like keep this like secret between you and Devis, or is this all like very?
Oh no! I mean, you would see him rolling out the scroll and looking at it and just going.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. She's going like as you pass the scroll, she's gonna be like, was that with the fleece?
It was nearby, I suppose. I mean, in a drawer, not necessarily on the fleece.
Can I have it?
You can look at it, I suppose, and I kind of hold it for her to look at.
Devis was still holding it out to you. You have the opportunity to grab it because it's being handed to you.
Yeah.
But she's not close enough to grab it. So, what are you gonna reach out and take it from Devis, or?
Don't trust her.
I mean, if she wants to reach out, that she can do that. Obviously, I was just looking at the text, so I mean, I'm assuming it's slightly unraveled to at least read that.
Okay, so he's gonna finish handing it off to you. So now it's in your possession.
Oh, okay.
So whatever you want to do with it.
I'll just hold it out to her to look at it at the same time with me, and I go, recognize anything?
Yes, actually, but can I open it? If I need to be the one to open it. It's a long story, but if you open it, it will be destroyed. And I think it might have the answer we need.
So there's more text on this than what I see?
Well, you have to unroll it, but here, may I please?
I mean, Rin is probably just going to trust the shit out of her because he has terrible insight.
God damn it, Rin.
What do you guys remember when you picked up the scroll, when you did some checking on the scroll? Do you remember what I told you?
I was almost dead, so no.
I
I just single-handedly killed 2 bugbears.
So when you did the check on it earlier, I told you that you've seen seals like you haven't seen the cipher before, but the seals you knew that this is magically set up to where only the intended person can open it. If anyone else opened it, it would destroy the document.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So then he'll make with that he'll just say, "Are you sure it's intended for you?"
Yes, I'm positive.
All right. And he just slowly hands it over to her.
Okay,
I mean,
I'm gonna open it. And I'm gonna read it.
Yeah, so as she grabs it and is sliding the seal, it does not deteriorate.
The scroll doesn't deteriorate. Okay, so can Rin kind of look over her shoulder and see what's written there?
Are you allowing him to, or are you trying to hide it?
She does not care.
Okay.
I mean, she's probably this tall. He's like at least this tall. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's written in the same stuff though.
Oh, in the cipher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just see a bunch of text that looks like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay. Can Rin try to commit it to memory? If not commit to memory, at least try to quickly take out a pencil and some paper and go, what is this?
I mean, yeah, you can try, but I don't have anything prepared to hand to you.
Oh no, that's fine.
Okay.
This is just like him kind of.
It'll be just a familiarity when you see it.
Yeah,
you'll
it's just
definitely
like him
recognize the characters.
drawing on for later references. It's
Sure.
like maybe clue.
Sure.
Dilly dilly.
Okay.
And once she's done
Recipe
reading
for General Tso's chicken. Go ahead. Sorry, you're good.
it, ruined it. You spoiled it.
I knew it all along.
Fried chicken works on birds.
Once she's done reading it, she's gonna roll it back up and put the seal on it, kind of twist it a little bit, and then the scroll will burst into flames and then just disintegrate.
I'm gonna kill her.
I'm glad I wrote down some of it.
I'm gonna fucking kill her, guys.
Rin's just kind of going, did anything happen?
Yes. Oh, okay. So the tears. We need the tears of the goddesses, just like in the stories. Not the fleece alone wasn't able to do anything. The goddesses had to cry over the person who was afflicted. It makes total sense.
Whoa, sorry. I'm sorry. You read something. What did it say? And how do you know it was for you? Why was it specifically for you? That's just...
So you guys downstairs are hearing commotion upstairs at this point.
I rush upstairs.
Strongbraid is going to pay for advocating for this crazy lady.
I fucking told all of you. All of you.
So
Like, don't trust this bitch, but no.
With the commotion, who's going to head upstairs?
I think Finley will go upstairs at this point if he heard Lila freaking out in mumbles.
Okay. So everyone's upstairs now.
Smirk on his face.
Strongbraid would follow just so he doesn't have to see Lilash's blood painted upon the wall of her bed.
Okay. All right. So everyone's crammed in this tiny bedroom upstairs. All right. Go ahead.
It's a very long story. This I don't know how to explain it. This language that you see, it's a cipher that I know of, and in the scroll it mentions that in order for the fleece to work completely, we have to fetch the goddess's tears from the waterfall close to the temple and pour it over the fleece, and then it will work.
Were we up there to hear this?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, you probably came in at least hearing that.
Yeah, that part. Yeah.
Okay.
Lash, you failed
I'm
to
gonna
mention
look at
part
the
of
ashes on the floor, look at Ren. What just happened?
I'm still learning that for myself. Apparently, this was a scroll meant for Lilash, according to her. And she could read the cipher. Which, by the way, would you mind telling me how you read that cipher? I mean, I'm pulling out notes. What does this word mean? What is this exactly?
I can't tell you.
Kurtz just wraps his hand around her throat and slams her into the wall.
Whoa!
Oh, that's just probably going, Kurtz! Ease
There are
off!
too many long stories.
Strongbraid
Your
from behind.
explanation.
Strongbraid from behind will cast command and say, "Drop her."
Holy shit, Kurtz, calm down, man. I'm gonna run and try to. I'm just gonna jump on Kurtz's back, trying to unsuccessfully pull him off. But
if you cast command, make sure you click it so it pulls up on the chat.